Today I'm going to do a GarageBand session breakdown of bad habits which are arranged, so let's get to that right now. So here we are at the session, and as you can see here there's a lot going on, so let's just start by playing on the beginning. Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Alright, so what you hear is these two acoustic guitars which I panned left to right, but I copied and pasted so you just get a very fake stereo imaging. So I'm just gonna continue the guitar part, so here's how they sound by itself. So here I have like a little bit of compression, 15.5 decibels, just what I did for the threshold. But I also have another compressor called the AU Dynamics processor. If you don't know how to get there, so you go to settings, go to GarageBand, and allow AU plugins, and then you get a very nice array of plugins. Look at these. And I use a lot of them for every single video I do, especially music related ones. So here's my settings for the AU Dynamics processor. So I used the fast and smooth preset, and here are some settings, not much. And then here's the visual EQ. You're gonna see a filter on the bass because I want the bass itself to be heard, and also instruments that stand out on the low end. I need to have that heard. And here I just raised the treble a little bit because the recording is already good. I have a very good microphone. And also you hear is this electric guitar, which I use the Americana Crunch, and I just use that as transitional material. So on this one and a lot of the electric guitar parts, I have to have a lot of automation because when I was recording on GarageBand, which by the way I'm using a microphone, not plugging it directly onto the phone, it just generates a lot of noise, which the only way I can just mute it is just if I just turn it off. You hear the fans because it's very hot in this area. So I have to have very ridiculously high threshold, but not as much as the vocals. But even that's not even enough, because if I like strike anything on the guitar, it's still gonna generate this annoying sound. So I have to do something like this. And then the next one is the lead vocals. I have 2 vocal tracks just for the lead vocals, and I also have 2 more just to aid. And here's what this one sounds like. No, I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. So here I'm using a bit of compression, and here are the settings. Not much. I'm using the lead vocal preset because I'm just the most familiar with that one. There's some bit of auto tune, no overdrive, some track reverb, and like some EQ. So that's basically it. And here's the actual plugin too. That's all. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful. Alright, so let's mention this one. This one is another lead vocal, but this is just to aid some of the notes I can't really hit, such as the high G, but it's actually just G4. I did actually transpose the song to G minor instead of B minor because B minor is like impossible for me. So here same settings as the other one, but I used the AU new pitch and I have to retune the actual note by 45.5 cents. Still kinda sounds out of tune, but at least it's more in tune compared to without. So the next one are the two transition guitars again. So this is the same amp, but it's just striking a chord, whammy. This is basically the same thing, but in reverse. And again, I have to use a lot of automation just to make sure that you don't hear those unnecessary amp sounds.
My bad habits lead to late nights ending alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use, or do my bad habits lead to what?
Alright, so we entered the chorus and there's a lot to see. First thing is that we have a new track on the vocal, which is just going to handle the choruses. And as far as I know, it's basically the same settings as the previous vocal, but I do have the noise gate and also the AU dynamics processor. I just leave everything stock other than the master gain, which is 4.5 decibels. Then the next one is the whole percussion. Here's how it sounds by itself. Okay, so here I have an 808 bass. You have the acoustic guitar percussion. So you hear a lot of echo and lots of reverb. And let me give you some of the settings for the bass drum. So here I have lots of echo. It's just the default setting. And also a lot of okay, and here I just have very minor increases because I thought that they're already good, so you don't need that much of EQ. And then here on this one I have a little bit more reverb. It's just 17% because you try to go more. Besides 100%, it just sounds very muddy. But here it sounds very clear. You can still hear the attack. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the percussion. Then you have the grand piano. I actually played this part, surprise surprise, and I actually enjoyed playing this part, especially after I got my new piano. The next one is another electric guitar. It's just the rhythm, and it's just playing these nice complex chords. So this is the Americana Tremolo. Originally it's actually clean, but I actually used a vintage drive which gives a very crunchy sound. Then the next one, which is also outside of the first part of the chorus, is this. This is just the lead acoustic guitar. It's just playing the same part from the original song. And then that leads to the final part, is this bass. And unfortunately I don't own a real bass. I'm actually just playing on my acoustic guitar, just playing bass parts, and here's how it sounds. It's very simple, but it gets more intricate later on the song. And here I have a very high amount of compression. And on the visual EQ, I lower down the treble because it's acoustic guitar and the attack is kind of annoying to me, so I just bumped up the bass and I just like roll down the whole thing so that you're just hearing like a fake bass, trying to imitate a real bass. Let's go to here.
True, my bad habits lead to you.
Next we have the backing vocals. Again, I'm using the lead vocals. They're very terrible. Like all my backing vocals, these are not good. Yeah, I'm not gonna go bother talking to you all the settings. Like, I'm using the same presets, so they just give me all the plugins I needed to give a okay vocal performance. Like, every singer is different, so it depends. Yeah, that's all. Next you have the second verse, which there's not much to learn here because I'm just using the same instruments other than the 808 bass, which I just omit, and like the lead guitar omit, but I'll show you this one. Again, whammy bar goes supreme, and we're on the second verse. I'm not going to tell you much about it because it's just the same production wise, but I want to show you this part here.
Know how to go too far.
So here I have two vocal tracks trying to do this G4 because I'm not comfortable hitting the G4. So one of them is just a normal vocal. Here I'm using like the auto tune just to get the G into. So
Yeah, it's pretty much in tune.
then the next one, I actually have reverb, and you will see why. Look at this. Full. And also on this one too. Yup, 100%. And on the second chorus, there's not much, but there's one more part, which is this electric guitar.
Till late night, standing alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know, swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got
That's the electric guitar part. It's very basic, and as you can hear, there's a lot of unnecessary noise, which I can't really do because I'm just using a microphone. It just comes from the virtual amp.
say to you.
Again, with the backing vocals, I'm doing different takes for like every single one of them, but they're still not good. Also here on the 808, I'm structuring them a little bit differently. So here I'm using them every 4 bars. Here I'm thinking like every 8. That's just like minor adjustment just to distinguish the second chorus from the first chorus. But that's pretty much it on the production side. But I want to show you this big part, which is all the backing vocals with the lead vocals. I actually enjoy this part, even though it's not really good. Take a listen.
We took the long way round and burned till the fun went out. Now
So you can also hear like the fan noise, like look at this. I'm exposing parts of my studio. That's pretty much it, other than just like one new part. But I want to talk to you about this.
habits lead to late nights ending.
So here I have a different piano part, which the whole piano part I actually did it one take because I can, and I just chopped them just to distinguish which part I am. And here I'm just like rolling out chords because I want to make it feel a little bit more intimate. And also on the guitar part, there's not a lot of information, and I'm trying to like play it quietly.
Standing alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use, or do my bad habits lead to wide eyes staring at space, and I'll know I'll lose control of the things that I say.
With a different track.
Now I can't escape. Nothing happens after two. It's true, my bad habits lead to.
What I found interesting is that here, look at the waveforms. These are all big compared to this.
My bad habits lead to you. My bad habits lead to you.
Alright, this one's one of my favorites. This is just like the turn off the amp thingy. Now on the video it's actually misleading. On the video I actually turned off the volume knob on the guitar. You can't really make that kind of sound compared to on the amp. And on here, look at this. This is just a straight line. So I have to raise the volume gain by 12 decibels, which is the max. And I have to do a bunch of automation just to get that sound there noticeable. And I also decided to end with something else. And I ended the song with just one big chord, and then I just drum. So that's it for the production side. It's actually quite quick because I'm trying to make this as engaging as possible. There's some deleted tracks that I don't use, like this one. This is just the early guitar part. I have no idea why it's so... Like this one sounds a lot more compressed than it should be. But this one I didn't use on the video. And I also have like 3 more regions. First is just the WAV file, and that's where the mastering session took place. And here I just have like very little settings, because mastering, you're just doing like the tiny parts of it. Here I actually lowered the gain to 9 decibels so it can sound really quiet, because I want to make it look like the original audio.
And I did some EQ, not much. And then the peak limiter. Yes.
And that's pretty much it. The other 2 tracks, so this is just the original audio. I'm not going to play it to you because it's the original audio. I have the original audio at the card right there. It's the MV. You can watch it if you want to. It's already popular than mine. And then here's the mastered one. This is the one you hear. And as far as goes, that's it for the whole session. And let's go to the next scene. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this one, consider watching my other ones by clicking on this card right here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications for new content on my channel, so you can be up to date for every video, because you never know when the next video will be up. These videos take a very long time to make, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.